r/AskReddit. What do people think is okay to do? That is totally not okay. Walking next to each other and blocking the path. Stop walking on a busy path. Putting your cart diagonally in the aisle while looking. And getting mad if people touch their cart to move it or asking to move it. I've gotten so tired of this behavior I've stopped asking most of the time. I just scoot it over. I don't care. It's just a damn cart. Full of stuff that isn't theirs yet anyways. Until they pay for it. In a place that isn't their space either. If they don't have enough common sense to respect that others around them are also shopping and need to get around too. They don't get the respect of me asking when I can move it myself even quicker. And it's literally only their problem if they get upset about it. I'm not that invested in carts or their feelings about their cart. I'll just walk away and they can stay mad. Yeah. But still they'll give that stupid "how dare you" look while doing it. Sorry not sorry, Karen. I need to get to the pack of gum in front of your cart. I just saw my mistake. Honestly, I just stare back at them until they look away. If they mean mug me, if they want to spend their energy getting mad about someone moving a cart in a public space, they're more than welcome. But I've got better things to do. Like actually buying the rice hidden behind their cart. P. Volunteering other people. A few years ago my mum would constantly volunteer me to go to a man and his daughter's house to help set anything electrical up because they're very dim and don't understand much. It was always simple things like turning on their Wi-Fi, changing games, TV not picking up remote control, had the infrared receiver on the TV blocked and tried using the Wi-Fi one still plugged into the Wi-Fi. I refused quite a lot, especially after the daughter, now 15, told her neighbor her stepmother abused her and her real mother buried her sibling, who apparently died at childbirth, in the garden. Neither of these happened. Mum finally stopped when the kid accused me of punching her in the face. Littering. I don't think people litter because they actually think it's okay. It's too shitty a thing for that. They know it's not okay, but they don't care, and they do it anyway. Some crappy people are just okay with doing not okay crap. My dad used to do that, throw empty Coke bottles out the truck window. When I got older and said something about it, he said we are paying the prisoners to clean it up anyway. Edit, BTW. I don't agree with this. I don't do this. That was his answer more than 30 years ago. I knew someone who was adamant that it creates jobs, so it was okay. Speakerphone in public. Just join the conversation. Just dump him already. Judy, and when they glare at you, I should know. My ex was just like that. See this one time. Apostrophe. They just started using a speakerphone right in public. That's when I knew that they were a complete knob and no one could ever love them. So, how have the kids been? Bold strategy. Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them. Perfume yourself in a closed public space, bus, tram, metro. I'm asthmatic and the number of times people do this in the dingy, stuffy school bathrooms is infuriating. I've had to bust out my inhaler a few times in front of chicks and they've all instantly put their sprays away and hurried out. Pisses me off cause in Aussie summers it's even worse. Imagine being able to breathe for free. Texting while driving. Christ. Edit. I woke up this morning to find that my inbox was hammered. It was very gratifying to see that most of the responses were positive in agreement. This is such a serious issue, yet so many people do it without giving it a second thought. If this comment makes a single person think twice and just put down their phone for the drive, it would be a wonderful thing and just might save a life. So, try this when you get into your car. Put your phone down somewhere it is either out of reach or not where you normally keep it. That way when it dings, chimes or beeps, you'll be reminded that whatever it is, it can just wait. As a daily motorcyclist, I can tell you the problem is even more widespread than it is commonly thought. Being on a bike, I can see right into most cars, and I make an effort to achieve eye contact with drivers I'm going to interact with. The problem is not just confined to young drivers. It is young and old, men and women, people in rusted junkers and Escalades alike. I don't use this word lightly considering current world affairs, but it is an epidemic. Can confirm. My husband is a truck driver, so he can also see directly into people's cars, and moms with kids in the car are super guilty too. And then they'll just unknowingly cut a semi off in the middle of winter, like trucks can brake as fast as a van or car. Send unsolicited dick pics. Okay, one secretary. Well, we're waiting. It takes time to find the zoom in function. I don't respond to anything less than a double Polaroid. Cutting in line. No way. Get comfortable calling them out fast and loud. End of the line's back there. Everyone in the line is thinking the same thing. You'll be the hero who actually said it, plus the rude person doesn't win. Got. Budgers are the worst. Asking someone why they don't have children. I had an aunt who went certifiably crazy in her later years. One day, she called me and said, "I just want you to know that you are out of my will and won't be getting anything from my estate because you were too selfish to provide a grandchild for your parents." "Auntie," I said, "all of my siblings have at least one child, so my parents are plenty busy and happy with grandkids. You never had kids. Neither of your brothers had kids. I don't care what you do with your worldly possessions, as they are yours. Where is this coming from?" She huffed and hawed before hanging up on me and never spoke to me again. It was weird. What the hell? Not only was her opinion both unwarranted and judgmental, she is hypocritical as she never had any herself. So strange. It was sad watching her go like that. A sibling lives in her house. Now, gorgeous. Right on the ocean. Beautiful deck. Guilt tripping someone while they're doing exactly what you wanted them to do. Well, look who finally crawled out of their lair. If you are gonna be like that, I'm crawling back to the lair. Get back out here, you little shit. #WH, why don't you come in here? Thunderous footsteps approach. Leaving their shopping carts. Just put them away by yourself, it's not that hard, and it's less work for the employees. Also, it ruins potential great parking spots. It bothers me so much that I grab other carts on the way to putting mine away. Lol. I used to do this, but now with the virus I believe that anyone lazy enough to leave their cart out is also pretty unhygienic as well. Pointing out someone else's insecurities. I was told that if that person can't fix it in 30 seconds, you shouldn't point it out. That's really great advice. I mean, I hope I don't do that to people. I don't think I do, but I'll remember the 30-second rule. Not picking their dog shit when no one looking. Like that it makes it magically disappear. No, it's not. Pick up your dog shit. About 18 months ago, a large apartment building was completed on a formerly vacant block 3 doors down from my house. No problem. It's harder to park near my house now, but that's life in the city. But there's one arsehole who lives in there whose dog shits on the nature strip out front of my house regularly, and they just leave it there. 3 times in the last year I've stepped in dog shit in the space between my front gate and my car, which is 2 meters, when I was leaving for work. If I ever catch that arsehole actually in the act, I'm gonna make them eat their dog's shit. I just keep spotting them when it's just done, or they're just down the street. One day. Just get a camera, like $35 US, and post the video on the local FB page. Drunk driving. You're risking other people's lives. Touching pregnant women's bellies. Offering unsolicited parenting / health advice. A woman came at me when I was heavily pregnant. I was in the grocery store, and it happened so fast I didn't have the time to get away. She was an adorable little old lady. Her hand touches my belly, and I was so mad. I put my hand on her belly. She looks at me like I'm a monster, and I just said, "I thought this is what we're doing." She glared at me and stormed off. Haha. I did that to a classmate of mine. When she put her hands on my stomach, I put mine on hers and said, "See, this is uncomfortable, isn't it?" She got it. Listening to music on speakers in public. So many people do it, at least in Germany. I'm from Austria, and every time I had to go to school by bus, these King Warnabe gangsters play their shitty music on their shitty loudspeakers, and if you tell them to turn it off they make it even louder. I thought of taking my small amp with me and just blasting them with a high-pitched noise when they don't stop. Also, happy cake day. You don't need an amp. Just download a noise generator app. Pick a frequency around 14,000 to 16,000 Hz and turn your volume up. Make their ears bleed. But this frequency at 200 to 300 decibels is even better. Kids, plays music too loud, this man, so you have chosen death. Flirt with waitresses and cashiers. They are just trying to do their job. Don't make it awkward. I deliver pizzas. I once had two businessmen looking guys at a hotel lobby ask me, "How much extra would it cost to have you come upstairs with us?" I waited for them to laugh at what was obviously a crude joke. They were serious. "So, how much you got?" The price to make me ignore my low self-esteem is much higher than I'd be worth as an escort. So I just awkwardly walked away without replying. Probably the best thing you could have done, as it deters them from doing it again, assuming that was their first time. If you would have laughed it off, they are more likely to try again with someone else. Allow their child to scream for hours non-stop in the basement. UHH. Drive at 50 miles per hour down a 20-zone street with houses at either side. Cats and children everywhere. Every car does this on my street. And it's not even close to a main street. I feel like I live on the street from Pet Sematary. Rumor does this all the time. He'll bring something personal up about me when a group of us are hanging out, or just make weird innuendos that make me uncomfortable. He is comfortable doing it because he's not the one put on the spot. If I don't respond, usually I'm kind of zoned out trying to just ignore him. He goes, "Yeah, he's really not happy about this." Hatter, I love how upset it makes you. His lowest common denominator that he always goes to is about sexuality or personal stuff, and he twists it into some crude shit, but he always puts someone on the spot, and they are visibly uncomfortable. It's not just me. It would be as if we are in a group, and I just decide to be a dick to him, and point at him, and say, "You're fat, and you smoke a pack a day, and you are super unhealthy. Lol, I love how uncomfortable I'm making you. It's hilarious, your face is red. You should do that to him. He deserves it." I have had so many of these type of toxic friends over the year, who are like performing for others and not actually a friend to me. Now that I can spot it and avoid it, I have a wonderful group of friends and we are genuinely nice to each other when hanging out. You don't have to put up with bad friends. Blaming someone after they confess their feelings or issues. Self-harming. Insecurities. In my opinion, no matter what it is, you never should disrespect this big step. Even if you dislike it, and even if it seems like nothing. It doesn't help at all to get a negative responses like that, and just builds up anxiety. This shit happens way too often, lol. Parents using their kids as an excuse for shitty behavior. I've seen people try to take handicapped parking spots, cut in line at grocery stores, because I have kids with me. Also used to have a coworker who used to be a shift relief for the person working night shift. And she would be 30 minutes to 1 hour late every shift because my kids. Apostrophe. My BF, who has no kids, used to get really mad at co-workers for using their kids as an excuse to be late. leave early or miss work. When we got together, I do have kids. He tried to use them, but ultimately couldn't bring himself to do it. Being late occasionally, because of your kids, is understandable because they do not care about your schedule. But we had a girl at my firm use the excuse that her daughter, 10 at the time, just didn't want to get out of bed. Every freaking day. She was told that if she valued her job she would get her daughter up and ready in enough time to get her to school and herself to work on time. Eating with their mouth open. And noisy eating. I have misophonia, so I just eat alone now, as it guarantees I don't have to listen to people smack their mouth when eating. I don't think people quite grasp that I'm not being dramatic, but it genuinely does drive me to insanity. Be late everywhere. In my Latino family, if you get invited for dinner at 8 p.m. and actually arrive on time, there's a chance that the host hasn't gotten out of the shower yet. Can confirm. I tell my Latino family members dinner is at 8 p.m. Gringo time. Watch movies on your phone or tablet in a public place through the speaker. Bonus if your kid is doing it. Parents who let their kids run around / misbehave in public spaces that are not meant to be ran around in. Like restaurants and stores. Not everywhere is a playground. Have control over your damn kids. Went to an R-rated movie at 9 p.m. on a weeknight and there was a 4-year-old child. The kid was talking, laughing, running around. Everything you could think of. We intentionally went to a late movie to avoid it. We finally said something, and the guy seemed super annoyed and took the kid out of the theater. I think in some places, children accompanied by their parents can't get into a rated R movie in the theater past a certain time for reasons like this. Opening their car door and throwing shit out. Not queuing correctly. You've reached the end. You're a star. Destroy the subscribe button for more like that.